Hi guys, Happy New Year. I feel like I've been a little MIA so far this new year. I've just been busy. I feel like I haven't fully stepped into the new year yet or started any of my resolutions. My family came to visit, I've just been working and whatnot. But Happy New Year. I'm super paranoid to film this video because the last time I tried to film a YouTube video, the entire thing was out of focus. So I have a little box around my face right now so I can watch it and make sure that I'm in focus. If I somehow end up out of focus, I'm so sorry. Anyways, I'm baking today because I feel like that's all I've been doing recently. It's one of my hobbies now, baking. I wouldn't say that I'm very good at baking. I can like kind of follow a recipe, but it's usually a 50-50 chance on whether it turns out good or not. Also, Seb's in the shower, so if you hear shower noises, that's what it is. I found this recipe on Pinterest from Dessert Now Dinner Later, and they're called raspberry thumbprint cookies. I've never made these before, but they seem kind of easy. I searched for a long time for a recipe that didn't take super long because I'm really impatient. I think that is my fatal flaw when it comes to cooking and baking things. I just hate having to wait. I want to be able to get everything done very quickly. So these cookies in particular, you're supposed to chill the dough for like 1 to 3 hours. I'm not down for that. So this recipe in particular, you only have to freeze the cookies for 20 minutes. However, some of the reviews say that the dough didn't come together and it was really crumbly and it just didn't really work. So I'm kind of debating on whether I should follow the recipe or take advice from literally every other recipe that I saw for these cookies and leave them in the fridge for like an hour. Before we get started, I need to show you my measuring cups, okay? My dad got me these for Christmas. He picked them out himself. They make baking and cooking and everything so awesome. They're just so cute. Cute little kitchen essentials are one of my favorite things in the entire world. I'm very excited to use these. All right, let's just get to it, shall we? I need to wash my hands. While I'm baking today, I figured I would also tell you some of my New Year's resolutions that I have not started. I have yet to start doing any of my New Year's resolutions, really. One thing that I have been doing is drinking a lot of tea. Why is that a resolution of mine, you ask? I don't know. While we're on that topic, look at all my tea. My parents also got me these for Christmas, and again, it's just like a serotonin thing, like getting to pick out which tea I want to drink, and then sitting on the couch with a warm drink and my cats. Let's get back to baking. First step is to cream the butter and sugar together and then add egg yolk. Here's my issue. I'm halving this recipe because the original recipe makes like 35 cookies. I personally have no use for 35 cookies, especially because my boyfriend only likes chocolate desserts. He doesn't like anything that's like dessert and fruit together. He's probably not gonna eat these. So I decided I would half the recipe. My issue is that the recipe called for an egg yolk, like 1 large egg yolk. And I'm not exactly sure how to half an egg yolk. I'll probably just eyeball it, but anyways. Also for the butter, the recipe specifically says to use room temperature butter. I have zero patience when it comes to cooking and baking and anything of the sort, so I sat in front of my heater with the butter for like 10 minutes, and I'm hoping that this is like room temperature enough. This might be the downfall of this entire recipe. Let's start. So the first step is to cream the butter and sugar. This recipe calls for half a cup of unsalted butter. Ew, I don't want to get butter all over my hands. Gross. 1/3 cup of granulated sugar. Unfortunately, I don't have a 1/3 cup in these cups, so I have to use this one, which is not as fun, but I'm really hoping that this is room temperature enough. I'm getting a little bit nervous. Hopefully this doesn't like fly in my face. That was not supposed to happen. We're off to a great start. Have I been in focus this whole time? I don't know. I hope so. Flour and sugar are all combined, and then the next part is to add the egg yolk and almond extract. I'm not very talented when it comes to cracking eggs, so it's gonna be interesting to see how well I can separate these. Just gonna grab a little bowl. This is the best angle you're getting, okay? I'm not even really quite sure if there's like a method to this. I just have to crack it nicely. Awesome. I kind of did really good. Ugh. Well, I guess I can just pour this in here. Whatever. Like I was saying earlier, my dilemma is that I only need half of the egg yolk and I just put the whole thing in there. I also need to add almond extract. How much? 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. I can do that. And now we mix again. I'm hoping that wasn't too much egg yolk. It's very yellow. Now moving on to step 2. I need to add the flour and the salt. We put flour and salt in this bowl and then we combine them. That's it. One thing about me is that I hate measuring flour. It gets everywhere. It takes a long time and I just don't enjoy it. This recipe also specifically says to measure it correctly, otherwise the dough is going to turn out weird. In case you didn't know how to measure flour correctly, you have to scoop it from the source into another cup. If you just like scoop it with this, for example, it's gonna be packed and then it's the wrong measurement. I learned that in my junior year cooking class and that's like the only thing I remember. I have to use a cup and a cup, how do I say that? It's like a cup and an 1/8 cup. 1 1/8 cup of flour is how much I have to use. Oh, cup of flour. And then I need to fill this. Yay. 1 1/8 cup of flour. I have flour on my slippers currently. I need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. My neighbor upstairs is now doing his dishes, so if you hear more, actually I think he stopped. This is what I have right now. I have my flour mixture and then whatever this is. I have to combine them. I have to focus during this part because I feel like I'm gonna get flour everywhere. I don't really know how much to do. The recipe said that it was gonna be like this texture specifically and to just keep mixing it until it's like softer and comes together. It's looking pretty good so far. I think my heater butter method worked quite well. Next up is to put all these into balls, put them on a baking sheet and then put it in the freezer for 20 minutes. The recipe says to do about a tablespoon for each little thing. It also says to line this with parchment paper, which I don't have. I do have these little like liners for my air fryer and I think I'm just gonna cut it in half and then do it that way and hope that that's good enough. Okay, it didn't really flatten out the way that I would like it to, but that's the best I can do. My neighbor is back to doing his dishes or using the sink. It says to use about a tablespoon of the dough. I'm just gonna eyeball it. You make a thumbprint in the middle of it and it says to do that right after you roll it into a ball so then it's not as likely to crack and break after you bake them. All right, so while I'm rolling all of these into balls, let's talk about our New Year's resolutions, shall we? Honestly, I have more of like I don't know if you guys have seen the TikToks, it's like ins and outs of 2024. I feel like I have more of that kind of mindset this new year versus like resolutions, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like New Year's resolution is a big, scary word, and I feel like it's a lot of pressure to keep up with it. But anyways, at the end of the day though, New Year's resolutions are hard. It's a big change to make at the very beginning of January. I don't expect myself to wake up early and work out and drink a gallon of water all in one day. It's definitely gonna be gradual, but it also takes a lot of discipline. These are my little guys. I'm gonna pop these in the freezer for 20 minutes. While the cookies are in the freezer, I figured I would tell you my New Year's resolutions now because I just can't multitask. I can't do 2 things at once. There's a trend on TikTok that did the ins and outs of 2024 and I kind of liked that better than New Year's resolutions. It was kind of less intimidating and it seems easier to achieve. My ins for 2024 are drinking tea, journaling, taking more pictures, drinking lots of water, Pilates, thrifting, consistency with vitamins, posting on social media, learning more songs on the piano, listening to more music, hair and makeup that make me feel pretty. So all of those are things that I want to focus on this year. And then my outs for 2024 are overthinking quite literally everything. Waking up late, impulse buying, comparison, self-doubt, mindless scrolling, getting food delivered, and people pleasing. I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I want to make like a journal page of how to achieve all of these things just to make it seem a little bit easier. I would also love to start Twitch streaming. I said that I was going to do it in January, so I still have time, but I would really like to get all of my stuff set up again. I don't really know what I'm going to stream yet, but that's one of my goals for this year for sure. It's scary. Look at who I have here. Willow, you're pulling my shirt down. Willow, do you want to talk about your New Year's resolutions? Anyways, that's kind of all I've got for my New Year's resolution talk. I don't want to go super into detail on all of my stuff yet, just because honestly I don't really know. I haven't started any of my New Year's resolution stuff yet, so maybe I'll make a video when I do. That's kind of where my head is at for this year. Clyde, do you want to say hi too? Do you want to say hello? Dude, he's getting so heavy. Guys, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to wait 20 minutes. Pretty sure they're good enough, okay? I'm just so impatient, like I don't want to wait any longer. So I wish my neighbor would stop using the sink upstairs. They're like hard to the touch, like I can't really mold them anymore, so I feel like they're probably good enough. The next step says to fill them with half a teaspoon of raspberry jam. I'm gonna use a little tiny spoon. This is my little tiny spoon. I'm just gonna fill the center. They're so cute. I'm so excited to try these. I feel like they're gonna be really good. I just have to wait like 4 more minutes for the oven to preheat, and then these go in for 14 to 18 minutes. I almost forgot, there's also a glaze that I need to make for the cookies, and it's just almond extract, powdered sugar, milk. But I think I'm gonna make it in the same bowl that I put the raspberry jam in, so it's like a raspberry glaze. I think that'll turn out fine. I don't know why it wouldn't. Also, sorry the lighting is bad now. It's getting dark outside and I have to use the one above me, which is not very good. Also, one of the light bulbs is out, so the glaze calls for a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract, and then a few teaspoons of milk. Seems easy enough to me. I'm just gonna put it in here. 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract, which seems like a lot because that's the amount that I put in the cookies. I might do a little bit less. Ooh. I'm actually not gonna put a little bit less. I poured exactly a 1/4 teaspoon. So, all right, the recipe says a couple teaspoons of milk. I'm just gonna eyeball it because I don't feel like measuring it. But usually it's just like a little bit. I should probably use a whisk, but I have a spoon in here already. I'm just gonna use this. This smells so good. This is just making a paste. There we go. Oh, that actually might have been way too much milk. This is the consistency of it right now, which I feel like it could definitely be a glaze. I don't know if I should add some more powdered sugar. I'm gonna add just a tiny bit more. Should I taste it? Dude, I could eat actual spoonfuls of this. All right, well, I'm pretty much done with everything. We're just waiting 11 more minutes for the cookies to be done. I'm thinking 2 more minutes because the recipe says that they should be lightly browned on the outside. I'm gonna leave them in for another minute because they're not lightly browned. I want to eat one so bad. I need like a snack. This is from Trader Joe's. It's the buffalo style chicken dip. This is one of my favorite foods. It's so good. Just eat it with like a potato chip. I'm just hungry. I can't wait for the cookies. This stuff is so good though. If you're gonna get one thing from Trader Joe's, make it this. Please be done. I feel like they're good enough. These are the cookies. They look literally the exact same as they did when I put them in. I want to eat one right now. I don't actually remember if I'm supposed to put the glaze on before or after they've cooled, but I think this is gonna make the time go faster, so I'm gonna do it right now. Let me get a little light. I'm just gonna drizzle it over with a little spoon. Oh no. Definitely not decent. I don't know how to do this. Not like that. I don't think these are gonna look very pretty after I do this, but I ruined them. They were so pretty. Honestly, this is good enough for me though. As long as they taste good, I don't really care. Also, I think that I answered my own question and they definitely should have been a little bit cooled because it kind of just melted. They're not quite as appealing anymore. Dude! I think another resolution that I should have is to work on patience, perhaps. Just wanna eat it. Ugh. I don't remember the last time I was this excited to eat something. I feel like typically I make chocolate desserts, like chocolate cake or like cookies, but I'm just like a fruits and desserts type of gal. Anything with fruits, count me in. It's just so good. I don't know. This is driving me insane. I literally can't stand too close to them. I'm not waiting any longer. Here's my little cookie. I think they're actually still pretty hot. Yeah, babe. Oh, they're perfect. It was everything that I was expecting and more. That's quite literally all I have to say about them. They're so good. If you like almond and you like raspberry, make it. I mean, I want to eat another one really bad, but I think I'm gonna wait until they fully cool because the last one burned the roof of my why can I not say words? The last one burned the roof of my lap. Am I okay? The last one burned the roof of my mouth a little bit, so I'm gonna wait until they cool. But anyways, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed watching me bake the best cookies to exist. If you hated this video, let me know. I'll try harder next time. But if you liked this video and you'd like to see more, also let me know. I would love to keep doing baking videos. If you're still watching, comments this emoji. If you want to catch up with me anywhere else, I've been posting TikToks pretty frequently if you are interested. But as for right now, that's all I've got. I will see you guys very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.